This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Welcome to How You Doin, a health and wellness podcast from INCRadio New York Satellite Studio. Whether you're on the go or taking a minute to breathe, we've got real tips, good conversations, and weekly check-ins to help you live well without losing your city pace. Are you ready? Let's get to it.
Studio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to How You Doin, brought to you by INCRadio New York Satellite Studio. Brother Christian, I'm one of the hosts for today's episode, and with me today is our, of course, all of us from INCRadio. Sister Mika is here. Hi, Sister Mika.
Hi, Brother Christian. What's up?
It's getting cold out here.
I know you still. I'm still wearing my jacket.
And we also have, although it's colder up north. So Brother Lance is here. Hi, Brother Lance.
Hi everyone, it is really cold out here. We're getting in the sub 20s degrees temperature, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is pretty cold. As much as we bundle up, it's just that time of the year where it's winter. It is definitely cold.
You see polar bears? Have you seen polar bears?
Not yet, but there is no escaping this cold right now.
All right, and then we're gonna take it all the way to New England region where Sister Abby. Hi, Sister Abby.
Hi, Brother Christian. I'm not as cold as Brother Lance, but it has been very cold here in the New England region. We do have snow and obviously a lovely layer of ice, but I think it's going to warm up the next couple of days. So we'll see how the crazy weather here that we have in New England.
Well, here in New York City, it is getting really cold, so I think we're all in the same boat right now. But
it's mad brick outside.
Mad brick, how you doing? It's mad brick. But no, for real. New York, what's up? How are you doing? We're here to talk about, as well. Our program is all about health and wellness and how we can practice and put it into practice in our daily lives. And for those of you that tuned in last week's episode, we already concluded our season 1 finale. And for this episode, we are going to be talking of just a little bit of a recap of what we've done the first part in the first half. So, but before we get into the main topic, of course, we just have a question of the week that we want you to answer in the live chat that we want to see later on. And that question is, if you could relive one district event from early 2025, which one would you choose and why? Let us know by putting your name and your local congregation. Remember, we're not doing any more hashtags, so leave that in the comment section. Now on to our next segment with Sister Abby.
Yes, what we doing? It's kind of the wrap up of the year. So keep your eyes and ears out for further activities, especially in your local congregation, especially the year is closing. And we will announce those activities to keep you in the loop. But again, don't forget to talk to your local officers for any activities that may be happening in your respective locales. So, but on to our main topic, right?
That's right. So again, like what Brother Christian said, right, we are going to talk about the amazing activities that we had in the first half of 2025, right? We're looking back at an incredible journey that our district had from January to June of 2025, right? We did community events, we had celebrations, we had camping. So we're just really revisiting the stories that really brought us together as a district and shaped our first half of the year. So again, please make sure that you put it down on our live chat. What is the activity, if you could relive one of the activities from the first half of 2025? What is it and why? All right. So, for those of us who are here, what moment from January to June 2025 stands out to you the most and why? We'll start with Christian.
Wow, putting the host on the spot.
Yes, of course.
For me, definitely one of the big activities we had this year was Unity games. That was a really, again, I think that will always be my favorite activity. Mainly because I am very sporty and I love sports. There was one activity, but I just realized that that's in the later half, so I can't talk about it in this episode. But that's it for me. I guess I'll popcorn it. So,
Well,
um,
actually, just in case you don't remember, because so much has happened this whole year, right? So here are some of the activities that we had from January to June. So we had the Johnsonville dedication in February. We had in April the CFO, Christian Family Organizations family get together and camping slash gardening in Johnsonville. I think we all remember that. We have the TSB Talks and Workshop. And then in May, we had the Cure for Humanity in Bronx. We had CWS Day in Johnsonville. We had Brother Christian's favorite activity, the Unity Games, where we did volleyball, dodgeball, and bowling. In May, we also inaugurated our district office in the Bronx. And then in June, we had our Kadiwa Formal, our family nature walk in Niagara Falls, and the Tagisan ng Talino district finals. All right, so
well, now I kind of want to change my answer.
no, that's it. So actually, I'm gonna talk about my favorite now, just because I don't want it to be taken by somebody else. I still dream about this activity up to now, and whenever I I'm in deep thought, I'm just like, man, that activity was so good. Um, and it was really a passion project for the district Kadiwa organization. We were very excited to finally have, after a very long time, our Kadiwa formal. So it was held at um, New England. What is it? What's the A?
New England Air
Air
Museum.
Air like New England Air Museum. It was so beautiful. We didn't have to decorate as much because you already had it was a museum. There was already a bunch of decorations there for you. All you had to do was show up. Um and then I was the pretend stewardess of the day. It was really great. Uh, but yeah, it was so much fun. Everything leading up to it was very eventful. The event itself was a great time. And everyone was really talking about it, even from other districts. So yeah, very, very happy that we had that in June, and we hope that we can have more. Who wants to go next?
I kind of just wanted to add on to that. Well, I would say, like, I didn't even realize, because there's so many things that happened this year. I was like, wow, yeah, that actually happened. But I would have to rank that along with Unity Games. Mainly because Kadiwa Formal was the first activity I ever emceed and I performed. So that was a memorable moment for me. But anywho, moving on. Sister Abby, if you wanted to go.
I guess a lot of activities happened in our region, in the New England region. So um, I guess I don't. A lot has happened. So I think my most memorable is the Johnsonville dedication, because I've seen it in its when it we first purchased the property. How much has it changed? And I do remember that chapel on the property and how it looked, and now how it looks now after the renovation. And every so often, we get to perform there. So it's like I still get the the feels when I get to perform, and I remember how it was when we performed for the chapel dedication, and also the activities after the fact, and like seeing the whole district come together during that day and celebrate with us.
Yeah, the Del Sol Chapel is really, really pretty. It's so cute. Yeah, and it's funny because we were actually just talking about it, I think either a couple of days ago or probably last week, how much fun and really great that activity was. So yay! How about you, Brother Lance? What was your favorite?
You know, my most favorite activity that we had was the one in Niagara Falls. Because that's the only time we got, I think, visited in the district by everyone throughout the district came up here in upstate. So it's very nice to see to see everyone in Niagara Falls. It was a warm weather on that day too. I remember it being definitely good weather. It was sunny. It was the perfect temperature. It was not too cold either, because sometimes it does get cold in Niagara Falls, especially in the afternoon, because how close the falls is and the mist coming from it. So, but it was a perfect temperature on that day. It was very crisp. It was nice just to see everyone come up and drive up in that day in the morning, and just be able to see everyone here in upstate, because it's very seldom that we get activities up here. It's usually more likely in the New York City or in the five borough area, not up here in the in the cold, in
Sorry,
the actual.
we love Rochester. It's just a little far out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still
I,
part of New York,
it is
despite what the
still,
city people think.
yeah. And if everyone might know, when they describe Rochester, New York, they think it's part of the New York City area where all those districts of lights are, and all the hustling and bustling. But here it's the nicer greenery part. But yeah, that's, I think, one of my favorite part, and
No,
I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting.
yeah, I actually really liked the Niagara Falls activity. It was my very first time there. And yes, you're right. It was it wasn't too hot. And the great thing is that the mist from the falls was very refreshing. So it was like a very welcome, cool breeze and mist, that cools you down amid the heat. Um, I remember we were very tired, so I can't imagine how tired, Rochester people must feel driving down each activity. So
I thought
because
I thought
that
you were
one,
gonna
that one
say
drive up, we were like,
I thought you were gonna say, oh, I wonder how tired they must be driving to Niagara Falls.
no, and it was great to see the happy reaction of the brethren in like Rochester, in the Rochester area, because we finally get to like set foot in their neck of the woods, as they say. So yeah, it was great. Are there any other favorites that you guys have from January to June?
Seems so long ago.
Right?
you know, I, and like I don't know, like I think all the activities that you mentioned earlier, Sister Mika, is just they have their own special thing, and it was really hard to just pick one, but yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think this whole year flew by fast. We went from January straight to December. Like there was no break in between, or it felt like we were changing weather within like couple of days. It didn't feel.
Mhm.
It was so quick this year in 2025.
I feel like it went by quickly because we were always doing something every week. Like there was an activity happening in the district, or if not in the district, in the locales were having something. So there was always something happening, and it never felt like there was a dull moment in the year. So like that's why I was like, wow, it's already January is what, in a few weeks. It's crazy.
yeah, it's great. It's funny. That's just the first half of the year. There's even more activities that happened on the second half. So next week we're going to be talking about that. But I do want to shout out a couple of other activities. The CFO family get together was so much fun. We did s'mores. We did karaoke. All night long. There was karaoke
From
at any
sunset to
point.
sunrise, everyone.
At any point. But yeah, so everyone had their tents. Some people had their RVs. People brought their pets. And it was just great to spend time with our brothers and sisters all over the district. The turnout was great. Yeah, it was so much fun. Then I'll also shout out to CWS Day. I remember there were like activities, like big activities back to back. So I think it was like Care for Humanity happened one week, then the week after it was CWS Day, and then the week after it was Unity Games, and then 2 weeks later it was Kadiwa Formal. So it was
very crazy, hectic.
yes.
The few months of those within that time span, there was a lot happening that week.
And I think that's why I lost weight. Because all the
I lost sleep.
Because we were so busy. But CWSA was so much fun. It was like a field day for the kids. There were a lot of different like booths where they did like maths and they did sack race, they did puzzles, they did basketball shootout, and the kids had so much fun. Everyone was cheering everyone on. It was just such a great time. There was a bounce house, which I think the adults enjoyed a little bit more than the children. But again, a lot of great times. What else? Did anyone else play for Unity Games here? Or was it just
Brother Lance did. You did. Sister Mika.
Yeah,
I did.
good.
I thought Abby was there cheering.
Yeah, I think I played like one game.
One game.
Because for our local, the younger Kadiwa are now are active in sports, so they want to play. So I'm like, you guys got it. It's like, it's okay. I don't need to play. I support you.
Yeah, I remember I was covering as well. But it was fun. I mean, sports activities are always fun, right? It gets everyone really going physically, and then you really have that local spirit. You want to cheer for your own local congregations. But yeah, what else?
Okay, well, since we're talking about all of these activities, impact on you guys.
Kadiwa Formal for me.
Kadiwa Formal.
Yes.
I think for me too, Kadiwa Formal would had the biggest impact for the first half because like again, we didn't have that's for the next question. We'll talk about the planning process for that, but just I didn't really expect so many people to show up. Like it was like we don't really do many activities up in New England region, but everybody took time out of their day to leave early and get there early, and then a lot of people are showing up in their best dress, best outfits, and then there are just so many things, and the museum was just really like you can go inside all of these planes, and then you had the flight simulator was really fun. So if anybody tried that out, I probably was there towards the end because we're so busy emceeing that night. But yeah, I think definitely Kadiwa Formal.
I
What
guess
about you, Daddy?
I just like third that, especially if I remember correctly, it's the first Kadiwa formal as the District of New York, and I know a good majority of the Kadiwa didn't weren't able to experience Kadiwa formal. Um, like my first Kadiwa formal was back when I think we were combined all the way down to Maryland. So, and it was like in Elizabeth, New
Virginia.
Jersey, or it was in like Philadelphia. So it was like when basically the Northeast, we were still in the Northeastern seaboard, way back when. Um, so, so yeah, like it was nice to see how things materialize. And I've personally never been to the New England Airspace Museum. And I was like, oh, this is literally my backyard and I've never been here. So it was nice to, you know, actually tour the museum and see what they have.
How about you, Brother Lance?
Yeah, come to think of it, like those Kadira formals that we did have, like the, the demographic has changed to say, because I remember the kids being like CWS, but when I saw them there, I'm like they're already Kadiwa. I'm like, am I really that old?
I felt
Alex,
old.
yeah, I
Yes,
felt
Lance, we
It's-
are really that old.
because it's a change of, like, we were so used to seeing each other, then you see a bunch of these new kids coming up, so it's just nice to see them to be also active, to be continuing on in terms of attending these kinds of activity, and the new generation just continuing to be more active and taking responsibility of not only attending district activities but also local activities. Like, it's a good change. It's not a bad change, but it is a good change to see that, as they grow up, they're still continue to, be mature and also be in active in participating in all these kinds of activity, because it's seldom that we do have Kadiwa formal, but it is one of those events that's very memorable, because not only did you get to go to the Air Museum, but you also get to sit in like different kinds of planes that was, either involved in some sort of war, or there was some sort of use of, or there there were developed for, some sort of, technological, flying, and also the games that they had. It was pretty fun. I didn't get to play the simulation, the more intense simulation, but I did get to play the little one in the older computer. I think it was running like Windows 11. It was very ancient, but it was pretty fun to just have that simulation. I wish I had to sit down on the more improved, better one where they had like a simulated, inside of the plane where you were in a proper seat and everything. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see, nonetheless.
Yes. Now, are there any moments? I think this is for like me and Brother Christian because we were in District Kadiwa. And again, shout out to the District Kadiwa on our YouTube live chat. Please tell us the stories while I say the stories. Were there moments in planning for activities from January to June where you experienced any difficulties? How did our we and our co-officers overcome them, and how did you feel once the event was concluded? We'll start with you, Brother Christian.
Again, for this one, it would be the planning for Kadiwa. Well, any district activity in general will always have some kind of like, um moments, right? Those big moments where we're kind of like, oh, what do we do now? Or like something changes in their plans, right? But really the biggest thing that we were worried about for was Kadiwa formal, because again, it's the first one that we were having, and we wanted to figure out a way on how we could, like, get more people to join and be more interested, because we know, like, New England is kind of far, and then we also had to there were admission stuff that we also had to take care of, and like, just and District Kadiwa, we're limited in numbers, so it's not like we have a really, a big amount of officers, but um getting the help that we need to put everything together, from the decorations to the giveaways to program rundown, and even tech. Like setting up for tech in that museum was very, very difficult. But shout out to our tech team, our district tech team. They were able to manage and figure that out. And um, even getting the performers, I remember being part of that as well. The recruitment and trying to organize, what songs we're gonna sing or what they're gonna perform, and we had to get that screened and everything. So um, really just being able to overcome them was just working together as a group, as a team, even though there's only a handful of us sometimes. And even reaching out to other local congregations to bring them into the district, that really made it span more. So and I think at the end of it, it was just nice to see that the targeted kadiwas that we wanted to see also came, and some even that we weren't expecting showed up. Like, there are other kadiwas that don't normally attend activities in the district because they feel left out, or that kind of thing. But um, the kadiwa formal really brought them together, and it was just really nice to see everybody there. So yeah.
Yes, no, there are just really a lot of memorable things that happened for Kadua Formal, and I feel like it really was knowing the things that happened leading up to it in the background. It was really, God really made things happen. So, yeah, so I think that's why that was also one of my top activities for 2025. We knew that we wanted to have a Kadua formal. It always got pushed because there was always another activity, but we knew that we wanted to make sure that we did that activity sometime in 2025. It was originally supposed to be earlier in the year. But again, God's timing is everything. So yeah, it was great. Um, for a lot of these activities, let me just look at the list again just to remember the planning stuff for the year for the activities. Yeah, again, a lot of these activities were like week after week after week, and imagine having to plan multiple activities, cover for those activities, and all of that. So really, everything is all thanks to our Almighty God, and of course, the officers that we work with. Shout out to District Kariwa again. Shout out to District CWS, District CFO. Y'all really made a lot of things happen this past year. And we're only talking about the first half right now. Okay, so, and you know who you
I
are.
think if you were to I think if you were to ask us how you doing in the first half, I would say delirious, because there's so many things happening those couple of months, the first half. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You had us in the first half. I'm kidding. No, but it really honestly was great. No matter how busy things were. I mean, it's great that we're not alone, that we had our co-officers to, to help us out and to go through things together, so we could rely on each other. And I really think that that's what grew us as not just as co-officers, but as friends, right? As brothers and sisters. So I think we'll ask one more question and then we'll keep going. So if you had to describe the first half of 2025, like what Brother Christian said, I don't know if you want to keep that word or if you want to switch it up with something else a bit more positive, what would it be?
Let's have the Abby go this time.
I was gonna pick a Lance just because.
Let me
You can have
let me
Lance.
think of
I need to still
another.
think.
I would say lightning because it went by so quick. It's like the speed of light, basically. In terms of not only in the fast pace of half of this year or the first half of this year, but also the tremendous amount of activity that was happening in the first half was very nice to see because we were having activities back to back to back to back, not only beginning in January until June, but also in the second half, which we'll be talking about next week. There were many more activities, and up to this conclusion of our year, there's a lot of things happening. Just so I think it's very good to see all these activities happening and also all these participation happening also, and I'm sure there will be more to come in the year 2026. But the first half is definitely went by quick, and it was just as impactful as it is as quick as it went through.
Sister Abby, how about you?
It's like I'm trying to pick a word, and I'm coming up with like multiple words, but I guess to like really sum it up, it's I don't know. I feel like fulfilled, like it's just my heart is full with all the activities and how much we done and how much we've grown throughout the first half of the year. And you can also see like the growth of brethren and the growth of the youth of the church and how much they participate in all the activities, despite being busy and having their personal things that they need to attend to. But yeah, I guess fulfilled, full, I guess those were my words. How
Yeah.
about Brother Christian?
I mean, I only made that joke about being delirious because half the time I was like low on sleep, and there was always another activity to prepare for. But I would say it was the first half was very fun because there are a lot of physical activities involved. The nature walking Niagara Falls, a lot of we had to drive up. I could even say adventures. You could say that because we were venturing out, driving places, the camping, you're outdoors with, that, and then Unity games, sports as well. So, um, that's what I would say the first half was. And then the second half is there's so
It's
much more
another
to
story.
happen, but can't talk about it.
Yes, well, everyone's just gonna have to tune in next week to find out about the second half, right? For me, right before, just before we do our extras, I think I would use the word rewarding, right? I mean, it was tough, but ultimately very gratifying and worth it, right? Each activity, we labored for it, we worked hard, and yeah, it was just very rewarding at the end of it all. So again, shout out to our fellow officers and everyone who worked hard and had a part in all of these activities in the first half of the year. To shout out to everyone who participated in any and all of these activities in the first half of the year. Thank you for always supporting the activities of our district. And we are so excited to talk about the second half, which is like based on the list that we had put together, has more activities. All right, Lance, let's go.
Yes, it is time for us to close out. This is all for our show today. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you so much to the church administration for giving us a platform to share and speak about important and interesting topics like these. And greetings to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, and our current Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Uranio Manalo. And also greetings to our INC Radio Station Manager, Brother Wally Tarai, and our Executive Producer, Kuya Manley and Daya. Take it away, Brother Christian.
Oh, belated
And
happy birthday, Queen Manly.
oh yeah,
Yes.
belated happy birthday. We would also like to greet our District Minister, Brother Sheridan Santos, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Neil Patrick Omelda, and of course, our CFO Advisor, Brother Jason Flores. And next week, we're going to be talking about our favorite moments and activities from the second half of 2025. And I can't believe next week's episode is the last episode of the year. So make sure you come back and tune in to How You Doing next Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's Sunday, 12:30 a.m. Philippine time, right here on How You Doing, brought to you by INC Radio New York Satellite Studio. Bye, everyone.
Bye.